Good morning. Good freaking morning, everybody. Que pelo, que onda, que pasa, que tal? How are you guys doing this morning? Welcome back. We're gonna get right into it this morning. We got about, looks like just under 2 minutes before the bell sounds, and take you right to the charts. So looking at AMC, currently sitting, it looks like at about 10:08. We've kind of been floating in this range. We hit a high of $10.30 in the pre-market early this morning. I woke up super early, like right as market open or pre-market started, and didn't see it as high as 10:30. But we've kind of been floating in this range. And let's see what the volume's doing, because pre-market volume. All right, so whatever. You can't really take that in consideration. So I was taking a look yesterday at the Reddit, and we've got quite a few things to go over this morning. And I noticed a lot of people were saying that there's some information out there floating around that people are saying there's a big sell-off that's going to happen today. So I just kind of went back and looked. I don't remember what our projections were as of last week. I think Mondays are always a pretty strong day for us, and then Tuesdays, Wednesdays, whatever happens throughout there. But we do have some big news. I think today is May the 3rd. Tomorrow is the shareholders meeting. So that should bring some good news to it. Hopefully, I think the last time they had a shareholder meeting, I don't really remember what the stock did. I don't think it was really positive for us. And then the second thing is on May 6th we have the earnings. So I think it's on Thursday. So and that's kind of the day that we project the day after on May 7th that we're gonna have some positive movement in the position here. So 20 seconds out. All right. I do want to look at a few things here before the bell sounds. And I was going back and I was kind of looking. I was looking on the mobile app for TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim. It's currently what we're using here, and it looked a little bit different. So it's not really relevant now when I look at it. However, we're still kind of trading within a channel, right? If you take out some of the this peak right here that we have, and you look, we're kind of in this channel here, getting stopped at $12. So a little bit below 12, probably about 11.90, 11.80, somewhere in there. You can kind of see we hit once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So somewhere in there, that's probably our roof. And we kind of know that right now. That's kind of where we're being held up as a level of resistance, is just under $12 at like 11.80ish, 11.90, somewhere in there. And this is on the 4-hour candle. So to keep that in mind. And then going back, we have levels of support down here. And I kind of took a low one at like $8.78, $8.80, which was also a level resistance at one point. And we've kind of got it set here. We have our trend line set at $9. So it's kind of in that range of 9 to 12, and we kind of knew that. So we have just been trading within this channel right here and here for a while. We're kind of consolidating within that now. And but the reason I bring it up is potentially we could still have a red day today and get that bounce. We could trade as low as the $9. So expect that there may be some negative volatility here, that we may see some movement farther down. And looking on the 4-hour, you can see we're not currently overbought. We're doing okay on the RSI. However, we haven't really hit the bottom yet. I think that this thing could continue to go down just slightly before we get that reversal and start trending back upward. So keep that in mind. I don't know about the big sell-off that Reddit was pushing, or whoever was pushing the FUD, but I think just natural price action and movement we see is we're due to be oversold at some point, or get very, very close. What I'd like to see is something like this, where we maybe go down, barely touch down here on the 30 on the RSI, and then pop back up and get back into these good overbought territories. I'd prefer to say kind of in the middle, but keep rising. However, as far as the price is concerned, we're pretty good when we're up through here. So anyhow, keep that in mind, that we still could potentially have a little bit farther down to go. So we'll see what happens throughout the day. It looks like we're currently setting at about 10:04, up only a penny right now. I'm going to pull up to the 1 day, 1 minute. We're just going to see. So first minute has closed out. Second minute in volume is about 219. And we'll see about either third, fourth, fifth, somewhere in there. I want to kind of see how the volume is trending for the day to see what we're looking like. And this $10 range, I feel it's pretty strong, but again, when you start looking at other time frames and other charts, we can go to the 10-day. We're sitting good on the RSI. We can go to the 5-day, 5-minute. We're good on the RSI. We can go to the 1 year, 1 day. We're good on the RSI. And I think we might have already looked at 20, but if we haven't looked at 20, we're kind of good on the RSI, so we're actually kind of due for a rebound. Um, but I look at all of them together, and the one I heavily lean on is this 4 hour. And here we go. We broke below, so usually Mondays are a strong day for us, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Again, this thing could continue to just drive back down a little bit farther before we get that rebound, and then have the this is a very news driven stock or a catalyst driven stock, so look for the earnings call and potentially the or the annual shareholders call and the earnings report to come out and help drive this thing up and get us in that momentum that we need, that positive territory. There's a couple of things I wanted to look at. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the short interest from Fintel here, and somehow in hell, there's 1.5 million shares out there available to short now. Short bar rate fee has went down to about 14.40, so still relatively high, and this isn't too bad, but I don't know where they're getting those shorts from. So I'm going to leave this back up over here. I'll just minimize it. We want to look at the Ortex. I had that up for you guys this morning as well. Just going across the board here, exchange reported short interest. Last is 98.89. Previous is 78.82 with a 27.1% change, or 18% change here. Estimated short interest percentage of free float, 22.53. So it's went down just a little bit. Percentage of free float on loan is 34. That's went down a couple points. Shares on loan has went down about 10 million, and then days to cover has actually went up, and cost to borrow has went up, along with utilization going slightly down. So not very much here. This is just kind of reinforcing that there's still a lot of shorts in the game, that if they've covered, they haven't covered that much. They've shorted so much that even 1.5 million is not really a drop in the bucket compared to the rest of the shorts that they still have out, and it is getting very expensive to short this thing, cost to borrow being up here, and days to cover. So potentially driving away any new investors looking to short the position. There's an article here that I wanted to read. See if we get that bounce at 980. Potentially not. So very oddly enough, I told my girlfriend, she was like, oh, I want to buy some more. What do you think I should buy? Cheers. Good morning. Hope you guys got a coffee, tea, water, soda, Coke, whatever, beer. Why not? I told her this 980 was a very strong level of support for us, and that if she wanted the best buy, somewhere in the 980 range would be the potential number for her. However, if you just want shares, it doesn't really matter the cost. What's 10 cents here or there, go ahead and pick them up. So she did so. And again, okay, so I thought I had an article for you guys, but it doesn't look like I've got one, because I'll just show you. It has this stupid freaking survey, and I'm not doing a survey to read an article here. Excuse me. So I'm just kind of scrolling through the Reddit, trying to see what we can come up with, and there may be some interesting things on here. So we'll keep scrolling around like we always do to get the day rolling. Checking out the other positions we have in our portfolio. AT&T looks like it's doing pretty damn good, up 36 cents, so that's actually a big move for AT&T. Sensonic not even up a penny. Rocket up 14 cents. Fubo down about 24 cents, and AMTX down about 24 cents. So nothing really big here, except for AT&T, which as you guys know, we hold about 108 positions long at a dollar cost average of $28.98, currently up almost about $300. So AT&T is actually having itself a pretty good day. We do think that AT&T has a ways to go. This is a very long-term swing trade for us. Really, this is the rock in our foundation. This is the rock in our portfolio, the foundation of our portfolio here with AT&T, because we get that nice dividend of 7.23% yield. It's now down to about 6.8% yield, depending on where the price is when you get in. But still above a 6% dividend yield is very, very good. We actually are supposed to be getting a dividend payout, I want to say this week or next week. So if you guys are holding AT&T, be looking for that. You should get a nice little payout here, and you can reinvest it into some AMC or back into AT&T. So ours will be just enough that we could probably purchase 1.5 shares of AT&T. So it's not much, but but it's something, right? You're getting money, and we think that there's potential here. Looking at the 3 year, you can see we've already set our price levels here for our bear case and bull case here. So our bear minimum and bull maximum scenarios. And I think we're just going to keep, it's going to take a while to get there. Could potentially take the rest of the year before we see us even reach the bear scenario here at about $36. So we'll see how it goes. That's just something we're holding on to there. Everything else doesn't really matter in the portfolio. Sensonic's supposed to be having an earnings call, I think, at some point very, very soon. So we did hit a low of 9.79, bouncing off that $9.80 level of support that's been pretty damn strong for us recently. So going back, if you guys went back through the charts, you would see 9.80 is a pretty solid level of support. Currently, according to the RSI, we are in oversold territory, so look for a rebound very soon. Again, don't be surprised if this thing continues to drop throughout the day. It is what it is. We keep holding strong. We've been holding it for this long. No need to, to bounce out now. Let's see what we got going on over here. I do want to pull up this video. Sorry guys, I'm pulling you off the charts here. I'm gonna pull this video up. I guess we can take a quick watch. It's only like 4 minutes. Yeah, why not? Just put up over here. Get it going. Let's see. This is posted by Vinix3Def or DEF. Oh, it's gonna be one of these videos. I'm gonna apologize now. It's probably some good information, but could be hard to understand.
And then look what's under it. If you scroll down, read, look at it from here. So there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 7 accounts that are mentioning they are selling all AMC on Monday. And they're capitalizing like Shares Monday, Apes, Shares Monday, Shares Monday. Again, capitalize MC. Okay, look, just look at their names. Instead of using fake names and surnames, now, because they always use that, they're using some nicknames that like, look, Autistic Ape, 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 I love bananas, Ape. So like, and there is normal people here, so they don't use any ape nicks, as you can see, some random shit. And there is like ape.
Some random shit.
So what's next? Let's check them out. Yeah, clicking on them. Look at the subs. Remember that. Look again. You see? They're subbed to the same people literally, like, and every one of them is subbed Trey, just to, and this guy as well. I don't even know. So like, just fucking look at it. They subbed them, and then what's more? Okay, look, info, 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 and now look at it. Okay, there is like a 30 of August, 11 of February this year, 11th, yeah, 11th. This one is older, but those serials are created the same day, as you can see. This one is some different day, and this one as well. So like, there is 7 of them, and 4 of them are created on the same day. And what's more, they're also using the fucking stock photos. Like, look, there are some fake photos from the internet, like image search. If you put it, like, let's. This gun is like with Down syndrome. I mean, I don't have anything against them, but like, oh fuck. Look at it. You see? You see that shit? Photo from the internet. What's more, like, let's say that maybe this guy here looks like rich and like authentic and shit. You think so? Look at this. Random They literally.
All right, we'll stop it there. It's pretty interesting, just showing you guys not to be concerned and to be careful with what you read. We've preached this many times. Be careful what you're looking at on the AMC stock Reddit page or any Reddit for that matter. But this guy's just pointing out the fake accounts, the bot accounts that are trying to create FUD within the groups. So just be careful. I'm gonna go ahead and look at this. It just says this is posted by Midget Daddy One. Hey Motley Fool, you are liars. Hopefully you'll crash and burn too. January 26, shares on loan 58 million. Days to cover on the 2 week time frame 0.28. Utilization 95.52. Cost of barrel 4.9. So you can just compare these two. Shares on loan 155. Days to cover 3.3. Utilization 100%. Cost of barrel 13%. Free float on loan. So yeah, they are a hedge fund, dude. They write articles for their own interests, of course. So I don't know where he's getting the article. He doesn't link the article that he's referring to from Motley Fool, but we all know Motley Fool are a bunch of fools. Here this guy is again. Somebody posting another video. I would imagine it's probably the same one.
Okay.
Yeah, same video that we just saw. So hedgies not only try to buy our Discord channel, but they also use YouTube bots with fake name plus surname formats. And now this. They use some ape accounts created on the same day with same subs and with some stock photos. So again, the manipulation out that they are scared. It's a new tactic for them. Is that Chris Rock? Let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. Anything else really that pops up? So who's ready for sell-off Monday? I would imagine that it will appear to be a sell-off today, but only because they still have when we pulled up Fintel, it was like 1.5 million shorts available to short. So still same numbers on Fintel. I'm checking it off screen here. Same numbers still. But again, remember we have strong level support here, and again, we do have a little ways to go if we were looking at the the 184 hour. So we may have to move our trend line here depending how the 4 hour goes. So I won't touch it because it's still relatively decent from where we left off. Got a couple levels of support here on the trend line, and then we'll see how today pans out if it trades back down or if it goes up a little bit. So we'll see, but they're getting pretty damn desperate if they're creating bot accounts, and they're kind of they're pulling out all the stops here that they can, and that's kind of the last ditch effort for them, is to infiltrate the groups. Let me get this back over to the 1 day before we do that. Try to keep the chart on the screen while I'm looking at this stuff, so just so we can see kind of what's going on if anything crazy starts to happen. So why I'm selling, I'm not, and here's why. Okay, exactly. More daily FUD from the Motley Rag. Stay in your lane, Sean. You don't know shit about this industry, you shill. Yeah, who cares? Exactly. This is from Dookie Shoes. These numbers today and possibly this whole week will be like walking through the funhouse of mirrors. Believe nothing you see or hear. Pretty much. There's going to be a lot of stuff to come out. They're going to use whatever shorts they have available, whatever means they have available as a last ditch effort. This just only shows you, the guys, that we're getting really, really close to a squeeze here. That they know the end is near, and they are pulling out everything that they possibly can think of to try to drive more and more people to sell and drive the price down. And it just doesn't work. Even on Friday, the lovely battle of 1001, they tried to drive the price down all day on Friday, and we just we kept going, kept holding, kept buying, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't defeat us. So I don't know what this is representing, but potential FUD that could happen. So, gonna be lots of fuckery going on. Is this what I think it is? We're gonna pull this up. I did see a good article. Why is it not? There we go. I did see a good article over the weekend on AMC and the fuckery that's happening, and it's regarding the barcoding. And if you look, it won't show up on the one minute time frame, but if you were to look at 1 second time frame, you can see the barcoding within AMC compared to other stocks. There are a few that other stocks that it happens to, SNDL being one of those, and you can see SNDL on the 1 minute. And what I'm talking about when I talk about barcoding, right, we'll just pull up SNDL, and more than likely you'll see it. Kind of you can see here in the after hours here how it just barcodes across. It stays flat at the top all the way. It doesn't go any. There's no wicks above or below. It just trades flat. And it actually this looks a little bit healthier than what we have seen in the past. It's not too bad as of recent. It used to be a lot worse where you look at a potential stock, and you can see on OTC stuff as well. Just to kind of show you, but if you look very closely, you can see here we did it a little bit in the after hours in AMC, but if you look at a closer time frame, you can see that it's being done throughout the day, and what they're doing is they're using algorithms to buy and sell this thing, pennies across from each other. The same thing we talk about when we talk about level twos. Where's the did I close it out? I did not. There it is. All right. So I don't exactly see what's going on here. So we got the MACD, the RSI, the price here. I don't know. See if they say anything. It's called a stock RSI or STOCH RSI at minute intervals. And I'm guessing what they're just showing is kind of the same thing. It's not really a barcode, but it just tops out. It stays exactly the same. It's not like it's not random like a stock should be. Anyhow, we're gonna keep moving along here. Looks like we're finding that consolidation period down here at the 988. Volume's probably fairly low, yeah, sub 100,000 or sub 150 for the most part. Highest minute in volume, 436, so not bad. It's third minute to open the day, followed on the 8th minute or 7th minute here by 415. So other than that, we've been kind of floating around that 150 and under minute per volume. So not a lot. Webull people, shills, day traders, hedge packers are in full swing in Webull comments today, trying their bullshit. Fucking love it. Don't they realize I've held since January? Yeah, I actually kind of want to see where these shills are at. My comment was so good it got turned into a meme today. Tomorrow the story is the same: buy and hold. Always has been. Only way I think about selling tomorrow is if AMC squeezes above 100K, since the likelihood of that happening is quite low. Ain't selling hedges. Okay. Here's the annual shareholders meeting. Not a dead cat. Well, it didn't really say much there. I'm hoping for some DD here. I wonder if there's a way I can kind of sub through all this. All right, actually, this looks pretty good. Tendies are coming, my ape brothers and sisters. Hodl, ape strong together. Credit from Stellar EVH, GMC, and AMC. So let's take a look at this photo here. I'm going to pull it up on the big screen so we can take a deeper dive. So a lot going on here. So mandatory, we're just going to start and follow the pretty much the web here. So mandatory purchaser participants, i.e. DTC, DTCC, DTCC participants Member firms NSCC and FICC must purchase DTCC's common shares every 3 years. Looks like this was filed on April the 5th, 2021. Number 2, they've officially been notified since April 5th and must purchase them by May 4th, 2021. Number 3, how much in proportion to their use of their clearing agency? Certain participants, which are referred to as mandatory purchaser participants, are required to purchase and own common shares in amounts proportionate to their prospective or respective use of the services of the clearing agencies. Number 4. Where's number 4? Number 4. Guess who's a participant of the DTC? Introducing clearing by Robinhood. 2 years ago, we embarked on our most complex engineering and regulatory challenging building our own clearing system from scratch. We received licenses from FINRA, the DTCC, and the OCC, the Options Clearing Corporation. We've assembled a team of nearly 100 people in Lake Mary, Florida, many of whom specialize in clearing and compliance, and we engineer powerful systems to help us deliver more products to you with an even better experience. We're going to wrap up what all of this means, or what I think it means, here at the end. How many common shares exist and how much are they worth is number 5. 1.9 billion. Number 6 is here. Who else? This is an abbreviated list. I copied banks and hedge funds known to be involved in the squeeze or squoze. Citadel, B of A, JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, or like I used to say, Douche Bank, State Street Bank associated with GMO Trust, Cohen and Company associated with Susquehanna, M&T Bank associated with Wilmington Trust debacle, Credit Suisse, Daiwa Capital, Goldman Sachs, Nomura, Morgan Stanley, Northern Trust, UBS, and somewhere in this little fine print here it says Robinhood Securities Options Clearing Corp. So that's 6, 7, and you know what else? On April 1st, 2020, due to volatile market conditions in the fixed income markets during 2020, the MBSD intra-mark-to-market charge was changed from hourly to fixed time once per day at 1 p.m. That's 7. Where's 8? Starting May 3rd, 2021, the MBSD intraday mark-to-market charge will return to hourly assessment. Holy tendies. And is there a number 9? It doesn't look like it, but I've probably missed a few things in here. Okay, so I'm guessing 7 is here. Going back just briefly where it says April 1st, 2021, due to volatile market conditions, the fixed income markets during the 2020, the MBSD intra-market to market charge was changed from hourly to fixed time. This allowed stockbrokers and hedge funds to trade without disclosing every hour like previously, and their margins are covered, but instead only prove they've covered once per day at 1 p.m. And if they can't pay it, that's probably a little bit farther down, so let me go back to the top. If a firm did not cover their margin, i.e., would include liquidation to cover their investments at the time of disclosure, an intraday mark-to-market charge would be given to the reckless, greedy firm and would have to be paid out within the hour to its required fund deposit, liquidation backup fund. And if they can't pay, and it's very, very fine print, so let me make it a little bit bigger. Shit. Member fails to pay the required fund deposit within the required time frame established by the corporation, or if the corporation has a concern that the member will not be able to satisfy its obligation to the corps. As such, members that are on the watch list must satisfy all margin calls for the respective clearing funds regardless of the amount. So, lots to unpack within this. God dang, man. Whoever put this together took some time out. So, a lot of stuff going on in here. Sounds like some more regulations that are changing or changing back to the way that they were with this mark-to-market charge. So essentially what I'm understanding from this is that hedge funds used to have to report every hour, and now they only have to report once a day, but that is being changed. And they have to cover those positions once a day, and if they don't, they get liquidated or margin called. So if a firm did not cover their margin, would require liquidation to cover their investments at the time of the disclosure at 1 p.m. So that was once per day. Now it's on the hour. So Intraday mark-to-market charge would be given to the reckless greedy firm and would have to be paid out within the hour to its required fund deposit. So, jeez, they officially been notified to May 4th that the person backed by May 4th. So, sounds like they're going to have to be purchasing some of these shorts back. So, I may have to save this for a little bit later and kind of go back in there and see what I think about all of that, because there's a lot to unpack here. That looks like a Waffle House menu. God damn, it does. Yeah. I'll take my tender smothered, covered, chunk, peppered, and country, please. Menu for apes. Bon appetit. Or provecho if you live in Mexico City. Alright, so I'll read this. This edit here says, I love chainsaws for 60. I am led to understand that there was a ruling on April 5th regarding a process embarked on by Robinhood in 2018. The process basically states that Robinhood becomes their own short lender, meaning they can lend your shares to hedge funds in order to create their own profit. They became a bank of shares, so to speak. They have licenses for this from FINRA, DTC, and OCC, and there is a ruling saying that they need to equalize their debts every 3 years. The rest of this is basically stating that if someone were to marginally borrow, that they must also have an equal amount of non-marginalized shares to cover the debt in the case of a margin call. If the requirement is not satisfied by May 4th, they would be forced to immediately purchase shares to equal their marginalized ownership / pay off their margin debt or sell their shares, which would lead to huge losses in some cases. So it only makes sense to satisfy the agreement by purchasing shares, and the purchase has to be done regardless of cost. On top of that, in 2020, they relaxed the rules on reporting from hourly to once per day, which to me basically says that they let everyone run amok and stop paying attention to what the people were doing. But the rule is going back to hourly reporting, so the list of banks and funds on the far right are basically being margin called, and they can thank Robinhood for having a piss poor system that allowed them to do sketchy stuff. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Spaces, please, but thank you. I don't know. This dude wrote it out pretty good to me, unless he's referring to somebody else. Much easier for those who wake up and are addicted to Reddit posts. Maybe he went back and edited it. Yeah, it says edited, so it must have been all just jumbled in there. So it's like how VW put their diesel cars into eco mode just for the emissions test, but every day at 1 p.m. So it's a pretty good analysis there. Or nothing going on. 989 where we currently set. So not a lot of movement so far. Message for hedge fund. Don't care. Don't care. Actually, this is a quote from Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War. Today might be a giant sell-off. Some are angry about that, but this gives dips opportunities to average down for many. Oh, look, here we go. Actually, I want to listen to this. This is Houston Wade. If you guys watch the stream on Friday, we actually. So on Friday, we actually posted a link to one of Houston Wade's videos that was very, very intelligent, well put together piece of DD. And I highly recommend that you guys go check it out. It's still linked in my description, so check out that video. It's worth the 20 or 25 minutes that you're going to spend into it. Shit, I may watch it for a third time. It's that good. So let's see what he's posting about today.
Many people have gotten into day trading, really have no idea exactly what they're doing. It's something that they're trying to figure their way as they go.
Be prepared to lose 80 to 90% of it.
There's no panic selling. These people, you know, they may have bought at $4, sat for $400, went back to 40, went to 350, back down to 110, and they have not sold. All they've done is bought more. And there's no answer for that. There's no, you know, it is like art of war mastery by a bunch of idiots who should know better.
Art of War mastery by a bunch of idiots.
So right now the claimed ownership for institutions is around 200%. So that means institutions think they own, say, 140 million shares, but there's only 70 million shares of existence. The volume being shown with GameStop being traded is mostly counterfeit shares that should not exist, going back and forth.
Yeah, I agree.
The only way Citadel can clear that is to either find a physical share and replace that counterfeit, or buy it back from you. The apes, as they call themselves on Reddit, they don't behave in a rational market. They, when the price goes up, you sell. When the price goes down, you panic and you sell. All they do is they buy and hold, and they are not obeying these normal market rules. Went back to 40, went to 350, back down to 100. Probably more than 100 million shares, and
Capital destruction that is taking place here.
To settle those charges, that this conflict of interest is in your customer's best interest, yes or no?
I was born in Bulgaria.
Yeah. All right, so had enough of that. Kind of funny. See how the stock's doing again. Just trading sideways right now. So consolidating throughout the mid-morning, which is not too bad, right? We did have a little bit of a sell-off, down about 17 cents from when we kind of opened at this morning, or from close of yesterday. So not too bad. Just kind of consolidating down here, looking good on the R side. Everything's doing all right. We're not doing too bad. What is the active trader saying over here? Probably low. Decent little sell wall here. Not too bad. About 6,000 or 7,000 shares here at 987. Now 988. So not a lot going on here, but low volume again. What we're seeing here. I mean, we're sub 100,000s now. Volume is super low, and yeah, I mean, I don't know to tell you, nobody's selling. There's no sell off today. Whatever this was is a bunch of BS. Just some shorts. I'm gonna pull up FINRA. See if the this is updated yet, and has not. Still sitting at about 1.5 million short shares available and a short bar rate fee of 14.40. So I would imagine here very soon, probably about an hour, we're gonna see these short shares available go down just a little bit, not a lot. Probably about I'd say probably 500,000 shares. I'd say it's gonna go down to about 1 million short shares available. That's at least from what I'm looking at here. If we look at the volume, I don't think any apes are selling this thing here. Potentially there's some selling in there, but I think it's the shorts. So we're just gonna pull this back up. Let me squeeze it over here so we can look at the chart as well. No, that's not what I want to do. Go back down. There we go. Ready yourself, apes. This week will be nasty. Hodl through it all. Yeah, let's read this. It's written by Lick You Dry. Okay. You already know all the shit we are up against. Expect them to turn it up with even more FUD. Red days and bots, depending on how committed they are, they might even try to shut us down. No, I'm holding through it all. We are in the final stretch. They're bleeding more money than they can afford, and I'm sure they'll bleed it dry using the same boring-ass fear tactics. Little do they know, nothing will change our final goal. So, kind of know that we saw that with the video this morning, that they're using bots on YouTube. That 4 of those 7 people that they went through all created their accounts on the same day using stock photos from Google with some ape names, and pretty much creating some FUD, saying that they're all selling on Monday, with shares Monday being like all caps and stuff like that. So pretty much, honestly, I would just turn off everything other than maybe notifications for the stock, and kind of, if you can't take it and you think that this stuff is real, nobody's selling this thing. Catch the price moving upward and buy a share throughout the day. Okay. sell off and it's up 1.69 in pre-market. $8 and or 860 euros there in the German market today, so that's roughly a little bit over 9. It's actually quite a bit over 9. Let's see, Hedgie still trying old failed tactics. I don't know, not seeing too much happening. Alright, let's a little discussion here. Might be interesting. This is posted by Dixter_King. Say AMC is going to squeeze. Totally out of control. All hedge funds are going to go bankrupt. The government steps in. ... What's going to happen next? Is the real estate market going to be affected? If yes, and how so? Is the economy going to collapse as well? Will other countries going to be affected? Are other countries going to be affected? Or is it just going to be a U.S. crisis? Will the average Joe be affected? Okay, come on, man. Would it be like 2008, or is only going to affect the investment sectors? If you're new to the stream, we actually talked about this a while back with the housing market here in the U.S. 2008 all over again, pretty much. If you look at the loan default rates, and I think that's just loans in general, but I think we are in for a rude awakening when it comes to the housing market. I think default rates on all loans are probably doing really poorly after last year and what happened throughout the year, and housing being the same kind of thing there. So if you're looking to buy a house, maybe just hold off for a little bit and see what happens. I think housing market is going to take a big shit. Yeah, so nothing really happening with that. I mean, the days of the good DD are no longer here on the AMC Reddit. For the most part, it's just a bunch of BS, but we still find it interesting. Fake FUD Day, Monday, 5-point palm, exploding shield technique, white belt levels, skip that Starbucks tomorrow and get a moon ticket instead. Short selling manipulation paper. It's pretty amazing how long this kind of stuff has been going on. Yeah, they've been doing this for a long time. And they won't stop until the government steps in, or until we put some of these people out of business. Yeah, I kind of read this. This is posted by Wide Eye Doing Wide Eye Doing Rails. All right, good for you, I guess. I like to thank the shills for spilling the beans on the hedgies being pressured to cover their shorts ASAP. I mean, why else would they be begging us to sell a couple days after 005 was sent to the SEC for approval? Because the hedgies, Shitadel, Melvin and others, okay, Mafelvin, Elvin, I guess, and others are being extremely pressured to cover ASAP, and they will be margin called. This is the only way, or the only way they can cover is if we sell. Apes only buy and hold. Shills are daddy canny fanboys and girls. I'm an ape from 801. I'd like to thank the apes from 501 for holding the line for me to have the chance to jump on the rocket, and welcome the apes to 1001. Remember, apes, hodl for apes. This is just my opinion, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The interesting thing is that I learned, is that hedgies aren't where the real pressure is. What? Is the hedgies aren't where the real pressure is? It's really with the DTCC and SEC, since they hold the counterparty risk if the hedgies can't compete or complete their side of the transaction. It looks to me as if who is pushing for the rule change? The proposed changes will transfer some of the risk back to hedgie. Okay, so can a market maker get margin called? Yes, sir. Okay, whatever. Naked short data for AMC. Let's look at this. This is some D we're looking for here. So it shows April 4th regular volume of 40 million, short volume 14 million, and then down here regular volume 9 million and short volume of 4.5 million. Here we've got some historical analysis or data for the short volume on AMC. In the 40s, 60 back to April 15th, April 30th, 49.49% percentage of volume shorted. Doesn't quite add up, does it? Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah. So almost half of the volume is short volume. Almost 50, 45, 41, down to 33, 59 back on April 23rd. A lot of short volume here. I don't know why they're reporting this as short, as naked shorting. Although this does not look like the volume that that we would see for a day. 9 million in volume. I don't think that that's where we stood. So day trading versus long term. Got you there. Here's a discussion posted 8 hours ago from Constant Egg 3526. Did anyone ever think that the 46 million shares are being sold to buy another theater chain? I've heard they just bought a small chain of 8 theaters with 100 plus screens. Just saying it takes money to buy companies. Did anyone ever think? I mean, if you go back to watch the video or the segment that Adam Aaron did on Kramer. He pretty much says that they want to release. They wanted to get those 500 million shares so that they could raise capital to potentially buy some other chains. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that the 46 million would be used to buy. I'm thinking the 46 million may be used to sell part of their company. Let's see, it says, well, no, because we have seen the 13F for them. More than likely, it's part of the money they earned from their stock selling earlier, and they are reinvesting it, mainly because the theaters were purchased before the case. More than likely, they would try a stock-for-stock takeover of, say, Cinemark. I would say the best use of them, though, is to wait for the squeeze and pay their debts. That's pretty much what I agree with as well. They have a shit ton of debt, and they need to pay it off. With 43 million, they would only have to sell them at $140 to earn back all their debt. If they paid off their debt, there would be a zero stopping them from blasting off in value because the debt is the huge thing. And I don't know about you, I wouldn't be purchasing theaters unless I was trying to flex that valuation at this current time. Maybe not a catalyst in itself, but something that couldn't be a normal that was getting. So I think that that they're pretty much, either one, they're using that to clear their debt, or two, they may use that to try to get to sell that position. Who knows, man? Maybe Netflix, maybe Amazon. That stuff is floating around there for a while, and if you have 43 million shares in pocket, you could sell those shares, and that could be a percentage of the company to someone like that. All right, my family thinks I'm kind of retarded. The start of the squeeze is not the squeeze. Okay, tomorrow is the start of a crucial week. Yeah, let's take a look at this. This kind of goes back to what we're talking about. Currently sitting at about $9.94 here. Going through the other positions in our portfolio here. AMTX actually got a rebound, up 32 cents. Fubo up 6 cents. Rocket up 2 cents. Down 1 cent on down 1 cent on Sens. AT&T's now only up 21 cents after being up, I think, like 30 something cents. And UPC is down about 8 cents, with AMC being down 9 cents as well. our options contract. The June 18th $40 strike price is down to about $30 a contract right now, so not doing too bad. I think we have it right now for 61, so we're about negative just a little over 50% in this contract. Probably a little bit more because what we can sell it for is less than what the asking price is. So let's see here. I'm going to pull this up full screen so we can read this. It's been kind of difficult for me to see the screen this morning. This is posted by Unfazed Synergy 8 hours ago here. It says, tomorrow is the start of a crucial week for AMC. Hello, fellow cinema lovers. I've been a long bystander of the AMC movement and have been watching AMC grow on the sideline ever since mid-January. After doing extensive research and DD on my own, I've decided to join the AMC gang and go to the moon with you all together. Here are my reasons why I think tomorrow is the start of a crucial week for AMC. Short-term catalysts. With upcoming short-term catalysts like share recount and Q1 earnings report coming out this week, May 6th, I can't be more bullish. Okay, so that's actually okay. Yeah, May 6th is the financial report. I can't be more bullish about AMC. Share recount and Q1 earnings report will most likely raise up the volume level that we desperately needed to see in order to increase the buying pressure. Once the buying pressure goes up, we will see AMC rocket off this coming week, which may set a catalyst for a MOAS, the mother of all short squeezes, to occur. If that does happen, whatever price point we determine AMC is worth will be the fair value of the share price these Wall Street bastards will have to pay. Don't believe that tomorrow is the start of a crucial week for AMC? Check this out. Date December 30th, 2020. Open at 217, high of 222, low of 208, close at 212. March 31st, open at 1040, high of 1047, low of 1005, close at 1021. Alright, so I'm guessing this is the day before. Close at 212, we close at 1021 on Friday. Here is the closing share price for AMC on December 31st, 2020, which closed at $2.12. You might be wondering why the closing price on December 31st is important. Well, December 31st is the end of Q4, which means the share price of $2.12 is the benchmark for Q1's performance. Not exactly. Now let's take a look at AMC's closing share price on March 31st. You will see, you see what I'm seeing? Even after the mini short squeeze, AMC closed at $10.21. What does all that mean? Compared to AMC's end of year market cap in 2020, AMC's market cap just in Q1 2021 alone was increasing at an astonishing rate of 481.6%. That's almost 5 times growth in the span of 3 months. But here's the catch. When it comes to the calculation of earnings per share, or EPS, one of the most important performance metrics for companies, the closing share price, is not factored in, which means that we will not see EPS metric getting influenced by the change in market cap. The closing share price is not factored in since market value of the company does not affect the company's balance sheet. However, an increase in market cap or share price can help a company like AMC to raise a larger capital to reduce its debt portfolio. And guess what? It fucking did. And massive reduction of the company's short-term and long-term liability will show up on AMC's balance sheet. So you can say that that change in company's market cap can indirectly influence the company's financial statements. Therefore, the massive reduction of liabilities will lead to a positive ratio analysis that will most likely surpass most of the analysts' expectations by miles, which means we are going to the moon. So I also have posted, I believe I still have it attached, is the report that they filed stating that they were not going to release the 500 million shares. Let's see if I can even pull it up here. That's Fintel. That's the file. Okay, so yep, just give me a quick sec here. I'm going to copy that, cancel that. We're going to pull this up here, and I'm going to show you guys. All right, so here is the Form 8K that they filed not too long ago. Actually, the date is on here, April 27, 2021. And in here, if we scroll down, we can see the net loss. I think there's EPS in here as well. There's actually a little section here. Where is it at? Where is it at? The company expects total revenues for the 3 months ending March 31st to be approximately $148.3 million compared to $941 million for the first 3 months ended March 31st, 2021. So Q1 2021 versus Q1 2020, it's quite a difference there of almost about $800 million negative that they, have made. So, and that's kind of why I'm saying when he talks in this part about the end of Q4 is pretty much the benchmark for Q1's performance. I don't necessarily think that. I think that even you can see in the filing that they used the benchmark being the previous year's Q1. There's different time frames, especially for seasonal businesses, that that some companies just make more money in certain quarters, so they will compare Q1 to Q1 instead of Q1 to Q4. If that makes sense to you guys, that's at least my understanding, and that's the reason why it's included in this 8K, and they compare it from Q1 to Q1 of last year. That's at least the way I would do it. Is say, well, in that same time frame of last year, what did you make? I don't care about what you made in January and December. It's just a different time frame. What did you make for the previous one? So they're actually projected to earn about $800 million less. So the company expects net loss for the 3 months ending March 31st, 2021 to be between $572.2 million and $567 million compared to, I'm assuming that this is just $2,176,000 for the 3 months ended. So it says 2,000 there, but it says million. So I'm assuming that means 2 million, 2.1 million. So about $507 million loss, net loss. The company injects adjusted EBITDA to be between 301 million and 294 million for the 3 months ending March 1st, compared to 3.1 million for the 3 months ending for 2020, right? So I don't see this being a negative number here. Maybe that's what the parentheses is, negative? No? Am I wrong? Could I be right that the negative is in parentheses here? Anyhow, this information is attached in the description, so if you guys are interested in just kind of looking at their proposed financials according to the 8K form that was submitted on April 27th, which was not very long ago, I don't imagine that the number is going to be far off from where this projection is, and that's why in the back of my mind, I kind of don't think there's going to be a huge difference made from the earnings unless some crazy thing comes out and this is number that was projected from back in Q4 where they had made this projection for Q1 and they just used this old projection and it's actually a hell of a lot better. So that could potentially be the case. I don't exactly know when they took this data from. I guess we'll see on the 6th when they actually release the earnings report and see if they took this from an older time frame like end of Q4 and this was projected for Q1, or if this was made at some point during Q1 or very, very recent and this is pretty much where we stand, that we're fairly close. I mean, here you're looking at about $5 million difference here for the net loss. So potentially this is probably pretty damn close, and if they do better than this, then that's even better. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a big week. Anyhow, where the fuck was I at? But here's the catch: when it comes to the calculation of EPS or earnings per share, one of the most important performance metrics of the company, the closing price, is not factored in, which means that we will not see EPS metrics getting influenced by the change in market cap, the closing share price. And I already read this. So Jesus Christ! All right, I'm gonna skip all the way down to conclusion here. In conclusion, the following reasons discussed above. I'm extremely bullish for AMC this week as the combination of these short-term catalysts will most likely give a leeway to potential mother of all short squeezes to become a reality. I hope that AMC will truly be able to achieve the price target of 100K per share so everyone in the sub will achieve the financial independence that we all desire and hope for. Thank you for reading. TLDR, we are not just going to the moon, we're going to... Okay. The company... Here we go. Edit 1. Wow, I forgot to include this in the original D. If you take a look at AMC's recent 8K submission, you will see a statement that says the company expects a net loss for the 3 months ending between 572 and 600 million compared to 2 million for the 3 months ending March 21st. I want to let you know that even with a higher estimation, 570.2 million, AMC managed to reduce their net loss from 2 million to reduce their net loss from... Alright, so maybe I'm reading this wrong, or maybe they're reading this wrong, but for me, I see the 2,000, and then I see the million here. And I think to myself, well, if that was this number here, why would it not say like 2.1 billion? But they're saying it's a 75% reduction. In my opinion, that they increased like $570 million in debt here. So I think that this is negative. I wonder if anybody else calls them out on that. So this says, Great DD, just some comments regarding percentage calculation. If the quarterly losses are reduced from approximately, why the fuck did it say 2,000 million to 500 million? It is minus 75%. Am I just that stupid that I don't understand that this does not 2,000 million doesn't mean billion? Like that doesn't sound like a number to me. I don't understand. I have a feeling that that means 2 billion, but I don't know. No one else is calling him out on it, and obviously I don't know. It is just kind of odd there. So I don't know. Good DD, just something to read over. Again, the link to the AK filing that we have back here in the background is posted in the description. So if you guys want to take a look at that, there's a few other things there. One being the I think it's a Fintel short interest information, or it could be the it's actually the AMC financial institutional ownership, as I was, and I'll just pull it up really quickly here, see if anything has changed. We look at the 13F filings right here. Green rows indicate new positions, red rows indicate closed positions, as indicated right here. So all right, so as of May 3rd, Hussman Strategies, 51,000 shares, new open position. Creative planning looks like they're adding to the position or close a position here on 30th. So essentially the newest one here being 50,000 shares from Hussman Strategic Advisors. They filed a 13F disclosing ownership of 51,500 shares as of March 31st, 2021. They previously filed on 11/02 of 2020, so November 2nd, disclosing 0 shares of AMC. So sometime between in the first quarter they purchased 51,000 shares. That's how you would potentially read this, is that you look here, they filed somewhere in between that range. In the first quarter they filed that they own 51,000 shares. So we don't know if they still have them. I'm assuming that they do, but if it's in the start of the second quarter, it depends. If they sold them in the start of the second quarter, then now they don't have to show it till second quarter. So we just kind of use this to see who's buying, who's selling. And you can see, I mean, 51,000 shares, nothing to shake a stick at. So more investment groups stepping in here, more funds and stuff like that stepping in and buying this thing up. The retail investors, look at this bullshit from Motley Fool again once more. AMC has dropped a proxy bid to double its authorized share count, but investors shouldn't be celebrating. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. I remember a Big Soft was going from $14 down to $9. Now it's a 15-cent drop. So yeah, pretty much. A lot of people are having problems with Cash App being frozen at 10:04, but apparently there is a silver lining. That was the article I couldn't click on earlier. What is this? This is an article from Google. Let's see if we can actually read this one. Says Robinhood hits back at Buffett for retail trading comments. Okay. Blah blah blah. Buffett said Robinhood has attracted, maybe set out to attract, a large number of people who are just gambling on a short-term price movement or short-term price movements. Buffett, longtime business partner. Okay. Say it was deeply wrong. There's nothing illegal. There's nothing more immoral, but I do think you build a society around people doing it. He said it's just got awfully seem like withdraw investment from civilized man and decent citizens. He said, yeah, get the fuck out of here, Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger's comment was, it's just god awful that something like that would draw investment from civilized man and decent citizens. He said, it's deeply wrong. We don't want to make our money selling things that are bad for people. What are you talking about? Robinhood is a piece of shit. We all know it. You can't trust anything they say or do. And it has brought a lot of retail investors, and it has been the source of some topics around how they portray their site, where if you look at TD Ameritrade, it's a more professional put together website or app that they use. They actually, you have to, in order to actually trade on margin or options, you have to like fill out a little questionnaire, and they ask you about your trading history, and then they've warned you several times throughout that little application process that trading options is very, very risky, whereas I think Robinhood doesn't really say too much about it at all. And then the education portion of TD Ameritrade is actually pretty good, so if you want to go into options, lots of good videos here. Don't make it look too childish. It's pretty professional and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff in here that you can use if you are on TD Ameritrade, this Thinkorswim platform. So very good platform, and I think they actually compared these two during the Senate hearing, that being Robinhood and TD Ameritrade. So pretty low volume, still fairly low in the day. We're just consolidating here below the $10 price level. Not a lot going on. AMTX up 19 cents now. AT&T still 21, 6 cents on rocking. So not too much going on. Matter of fact, let's look at the SPY, and then I've got to make another cup of coffee here. Oh man, look at this. Hell yeah. Look on the 10-day here. So the all-time high, I would say, for this SPY ETF called Spiders, which is one of the most popular ETFs, was 420.72. Currently sitting at 419. It's an intraday high here for the last 2 days, 419.84. So not too far off. Market's doing okay. It's not doing too bad. Kind of consolidating here, but it's still in the upper end. Looking good there. Let's take it to 180 here. Doing pretty good on the RSI. Market overall is doing pretty damn good. If you guys have your money, you know, in this, it's not a bad return for the upside here. 31%. Not too bad. We're going to see if we try to close above this. Where we'd like to close at, just for this instance, would be above 10, somewhere in that range, 10. For us to kind of keep this this support level valid, this trend line we have set. If not, potentially tomorrow we have to adjust it and move on. So if that was the big sell-off, that was not shit. You know, that was nothing. Actually, I'm going to have to just pull it to this side. There we go here. That should be good, where we can see both. Alright, I'm going to pull this to the side here. I'm going to leave the chart where it sits. We're going to take a look at GME before I go get a cup of coffee real quick. Currently sitting at about 173, so kind of in that range that it has been setting for a while, in the 170s. Got a high on Friday of 183.80, and then it's just kind of, you know, traded down just slightly this morning and kind of consolidating here at 171 or 174. So not too bad for GME. What I'll do is potentially just leave the charts up where they where they stand. I'll zoom in just slightly here so we can compare the two charts. Bottom is GameStop, top is AMC, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes, maybe 5.
Mic off. Mic on.
Sorry about that, folks. We are back. Had to get another cup of coffee. Good morning, everybody. If you guys are a mechanic, thank you very much for what you do. It is a very, very tough job. It's also very rewarding. If you guys know a mechanic, reach out, thank them. Their job is very, very tough sometimes. I've got a 15-year-old car that had some issues, just kind of died out on me last year. I have multiple vehicles, including a company truck that I keep all year round that I can use as a personal vehicle for myself. You know, as well as my girlfriend's car. I have my car that had the issue, and then I have, you know, a couple motorcycles. So I just had no need to drive it, so I let it set for about a year. Finally, because I knew what was wrong with it, was a fuel pump. Go to start, and you know, it turned over. If you sprayed some starting fluid in the intake, it would fire up right up, but you know, it died just a second later. So it led me to believe that it was a fuel pump issue. I checked the relay, swapped relay with another relay in the car. It was good. I checked the fuse, and this is where it gets a little tricky. You know, I thought I checked the fuse, and maybe at the end of the day, this could have been just a fuse, and it cost me $500 to buy the part and replace it. But I let it set for a while because I know in order to change the fuel pump on this particular car, you got to drop the exhaust system, you got to drop the gas tank, and then on top of the gas tank is the fuel pump that sits inside. So then you got to take it all apart, put it back together. It's a pain in the ass to do, especially by yourself. So I finally got up the nerve and said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and it took me 2 full days to get it accomplished. You know, after going and finding the right parts and stuff like that. So I had to buy a new jack and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, it didn't start. I'd say at the end of the day, I got everything put back together. It did not quite start. So I was like, man, let me check a few more things. I pulled the fuse again, and in there I could see it looked like a little bit of a crack, and so I swapped it, and sure enough, fired right up. And so I don't know, brand new fuel pump. So hell, whatever. 117,000 miles, and it's a 15-year-old vehicle. It you know, probably could use a fuel pump anyway. So at least we know the fuel pump's gonna be good for a while, probably another 10-15 years. So it is what it is. But very challenging job, rewarding at the end, but definitely challenging. So appreciate to all the mechanics. I know I got a buddy I went to high school with, and anytime I do work on my vehicle, I always reach out to him like, dude, your job's tough, man. Appreciate you for doing it. It kind of sucks sometimes. Currently sitting about $9.98 here, so see if we can get that bounce above 10 and kind of stay above 10 for the day. Going back to this post here on Reddit, written by Racer3000. Proof that some brokers can't provide shares of AMC even if they let you buy it. So I'm European, and I'm using a broker called XTB. With this broker, there's a little button named Stock Summary, as he indicates here. When you click on it, it shows a table with a recap of the shares you own. As you can see, they make the difference between the owned shares and the current shares. In my current AMC position, there's a difference between two numbers. I purchased X amount of shares of AMC last week, and it's still not being reported as owned. I tried to ask customer service for some answers, but they couldn't give me one. I think they just don't want to give me one, as it could say that I am purchased something I do not own. Anyway, I found it pretty interesting, and I think this says a lot about the current responsibility of the shares of AMC. So one thing that I would probably note in this, that is odd if it's saying here that he, I don't know why he's blocked out the numbers here. That he currently owns 70, current quantity 70, owned 50. I don't know. I mean, this seems like, what I would think is that potentially it hasn't cleared yet. Now you have them, but it hasn't went through. I don't know if I can show you on here. I have to show you somewhere else. I don't want to log in there to my actual TD Ameritrade account, but you know, it could take some time. And if he bought them on Friday, it's definitely going to take throughout the weekend, potentially till tomorrow, before it actually goes. Right here, Dude Rock 91. If you bought Thursday, most companies have a 2 to 3 processing delay. You own the stock. The deal most likely hasn't closed. Probably tomorrow it will. Thing is, if you deposit money Thursday, they have to buy with their money, and they prefer not to. Most cases, they have to buy with their money until they receive your money. Give it until tomorrow. So exactly what I'm thinking too is that it just hasn't cleared. For some reason, there's no instant transactions. And yes, you can use the money right away, but you're basically borrowing it from the brokerage firm to purchase it, right? What is this? Amazing that you can't find anyone in Europe that can find AMC shares to buy, but have no problem finding them here to buy. What's up, Citadel? Do you think these apes are naive? Keep digging your graves deeper. We don't mind. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the European markets are, you know, the way it should be. Three AMC FUD ads in one morning makes me hopeful. Last day to vote. Yep, that is right, everybody. If you have not voted for the annual shareholders meeting and you would like to do so, now that the 500 share dilution is off the table, it probably doesn't make, you know, more of a reason to vote unless you really wanted to get into the company a little bit deeper and know, you know, who their accounting firm is and vote on that and vote on some of the board members. You can do so. Just go to your email account. I'll pull up mine here on the side. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. Now, I just typed in AMC, and we're going to see what comes up. All right. So here you guys go. I just typed in AMC here on my search bar and actually had the post up here. So if I just scroll down, you can see here from Robinhood and one from TD Ameritrade. Vote now. AMC Entertainment's holding. Here's the one from Robinhood. Let me just make sure there's nothing on there that because I have not voted for Robinhood yet. There's only 3 positions over there. I don't really use Robinhood, but I still have the account. And I just had some money over there. I'm like, yeah, what the hell? I'm going to buy it, whatever. You know, I got some money over there. Yep, so it does give you the email, and I'll just read it off to you off screen. It says AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated Annuals Meeting is on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. It doesn't say that part, but as an investor in AMC Holdings, you can help decide the company's path forward by voting on the key company decisions. Vote by tapping the link below. The deadline is May 3rd, 2021, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, which is pretty fucking wrong. And I'm going to show, let me double check this. See, this is why you cannot trust anything that Robinhood says. In Robinhood's email, it says by May 3rd at 5 p.m., but here on the TD Ameritrade, it says you can vote online up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on May 3rd until midnight tonight, basically. You can vote. That's from the TD Ameritrade. And then if we were to go to Robinhood, Robinhood says the deadline is May 3rd, 5 p.m. So I'm going to hit vote now. And I'm not going to show you guys because it actually gives some numbers on there, and I prefer just to keep that off. Make sure there's no numbers on here. And this one's a little bit different from the TD Ameritrade, but pretty much this is the Robinhood one that it pulls up. Gives you annual report, proxy statement, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Vote now. And here you go. So this is amendment proposal 1, which they actually took off of the vote here to approve an amendment to our third amended and restated certificate of incorporation to increase the total number of shares of Class A common stock. The company shall have the authority to issue by 500 million shares to a total of 1 billion shares of Class A common stock. So we are against that. However, this is off the table anyway, so it doesn't really matter. To elect to our board of directors the following nominees, term. So these are the people, right? I don't know any of these people. I have no idea. I'm going to leave this, I guess. This is management recommended vote for, so I'm going to, if management says so, then that's fine for me. Ernst& Young. So this other stuff, if I can abstain, I'm going to abstain because this is basically their independent registered public accounting firm. I don't know enough about them. This one, the other one is weird because the other one actually allows me to abstain from that vote as well, and I did so. To conduct a non-binding advisory vote to approve the compensation of named executives. Right, so I don't care about that. To approve and amended to our 2013 Equity Incentive Plan, the EIP, to increase the total number of shares subject to the EIP to 35 million shares, Classic Common Stock revised, share replenishment provision, eliminate the mandatory expiration of the EIP proposal. I'm going to abstain pretty much from everything because I don't really care about any of this other stuff here. To approve the adjournment of the annual meeting to a later date or dates necessary, if necessary or appropriate, to solicit additional proxies if there are insufficient votes to adopt the proposals. So just going to abstain from all that stuff. I don't really want to get into much of their business here. I don't follow it that closely to know who these people are or to care about Ernst Young being their independent registered public accounting firm. Don't really care enough about that. The only thing I would, and it's kind of odd that they don't actually give me the opportunity to abstain here. I guess I could withhold the vote, but I'm just going to leave it. It says it's recommended for, management recommends for, but we're against this one, even though this one is not on the table anymore. And confirm vote, and against. There we go. Just checking that, and submit vote. All right, that's how you vote. That's easy. It's pretty simple. Done. So that's all you got to do. Just pull up your, whatever your email account is. Type in AMC, and more than likely you'll find it from whatever brokerage account you have, whether it be TD Ameritrade or Robinhood or Fidelity or whoever. Matter of fact, I'm actually kind of curious. Is E-Trade even a thing anymore? I was actually talking about this. E-Trade's still a thing. Wow. I was thinking they might have gotten bought out by somebody else because I haven't seen the commercials in a long time. So it actually doesn't look too bad. And I'm kind of curious here on Webull. Where did Webull come from? Like, what is the history of Webull? It just kind of came out of the blue. It's a Chinese company, as you guys probably know. Established on May 24th, 2017, Webull Financial LLC was established as a Delaware limited liability company by Wang Aquan, a former employee of the Alibaba Group. On May 30th, it released of 2018, released a mobile app, blah, blah, blah. There, that. On January, Webull halted orders for stocks affected by the GameStop short squeeze, but reversed course and allowed buy orders starting at 2:35 p.m. later that day. On that day, Webull recorded its highest ever number of active users, daily users at 952,000. That week, approximately 1.2 million people downloaded the Webull app. So not a lot of information here. I don't trust it. If we were to look at something else like TD Ameritrade, for instance, and see, the company was founded as Ameritrade in 1971. In 2006, it acquired the U.S. operations of TD Waterhouse from Toronto Dominion Bank and was renamed TD Ameritrade. It was acquired by Charles Schwab Corporation in 2020. And it gives a nice long history here of TD Ameritrade, which says nothing about the GameStop stuff. Its operations are in the process of being moved to Schwab's headquarters in Westlake. Let's go. Just outside of Dallas there, if you guys are familiar with the South Lake Carroll football team. Very, very popular football team in Northeast Texas. Anyhow, enough about that. Enough about that, and enough about that. I was just curious just to know if E-Trade was still a thing. I had seen them in a long time. Jeffrey Canella, what up, what up? Hope you have a good day. Stay up. Hey, appreciate it, Jeffrey. Appreciate the comment, man. Yeah. It's already been a long day for me. I've been up since probably about 4 o'clock this morning, so I don't know, 5 6 hours already. Been a long one already, and this price action doesn't make it any easier to stay up and watch it. I'll tell you the truth. It's kind of slow and dull, but I appreciate you swinging by, man. And on days like this are just, I guess, good days for us to kind of go over this. Matter of fact, we may do something we don't do here very often, if ever, and that is swing over to the Wall Street Bets page and take a look over there, see what's going on. Mostly over there, it's all GME related content, so kind of just stay out of that. I just really don't care too much to get into that. I actually remember this episode. I saw it not too long ago. So this is posted by No Boysenberry. Last night I watched the Seinfeld episode Stock Tip. Jerry was shook when it took a dip after a few days and hovered. Kramer was spreading FUD, yelling for Jerry and George to sell. George, unshaken in true ape form, decided to go down with the ship. His determination to his investment is inspirational. That's it? You don't talk about what happened in the episode? I need to watch it again as well, so anyhow, that's it's a Seinfeld episode called Stock Tip. Let's see. Strong sell, huh? Yeah, okay. Looks like we're pulling back slightly here, about to reach oversold according to the RSI here. Just kind of dipping down, about 987 currently. You know, nothing new there. That 980 range is pretty solid support level for us, so whatever. Stash and Cash App frozen. Frozen, that, yeah, we saw that earlier. Yeah, we're just scrolling around, seeing if we can see anything that looks interesting. Damn. This guy bought at 19, managed to average down to 7, back up to 10 sometime now. So, not bad, you know. I'm trying to stay away from averaging up too much. I'm already just under 9. I'd prefer not to average up any more than I have already. I've already averaged up about 50 cents more per share. I mean, I'm okay with averaging up. I prefer just to average down, but I prefer that the stock just doesn't go down any farther, so I'm cool with it. All right, let's. I'm gonna read this post here. This is from Come Get Some 101, pretty much. That's kind of what that says. I'm not a financial advisor. I can really count to 20 without my toes. Okay. I tell you, the retail holders showed the AMC board the support that gave them and AA the way to remove all debt. It has to do with how GME released shares, a modest chunk, in a way not to alter the share price negatively, but because the shareholders supported the price in the mid 100 to 200 and more, they were in essence able to sell shares X price equal potential billions. So if AMC hits over 100 times 10 million equals 1 billion to pay debt. That's why vote canceled. We held plus showed support plus hedge fund keep shorting equals, come on, man. Attendees are printing, and if I do mean, if this plays out right, we will be back in with debt-free AMC. Attendees plus dividends equal MOAS plus revenue per share paid quarterly or monthly or yearly free money. Yeah, sure. I think at one point they did have a dividend plan, and they probably will have a dividend at some point. But I think they're far away from having a dividend right now. There's too much debt. And I guess that's what he's referring to. You know, they can clear debt. They can announce a dividend. I kind of want to see this. I think most people who post this kind of stuff are full of shit. But I don't know. They post a screenshot. So he pretty much said, see, I told you I would throw. See, that's this is kind of the thing. He said he's going to throw $10,000 at it. He says he's going to get off Robinhood and move to either Webull or TD Ameritrade. But if you just purchase it today, why don't you just open the account and go ahead and purchase on there instead of putting that money into Robinhood? I don't know. If you literally just purchased $10,000 worth and you're saying that you're going to transfer, but yeah, anyhow, whatever. Alright, so I'm not seeing too much else here. It may be time for us to kind of swing over to the Wall Street Bets page and just see what's happening over there. I'll refresh just once more. No manipulation here. Inflow greater than outflow. And somehow the price still decreases. Yeah. Did you know this? Charles Schwab acquiring TD Ameritrade? Yeah. We actually just read that Charles Schwab and TD Ameritrade were pretty much merging, and that they were moving TD Ameritrade to its Charles Schwab headquarters based out of Westlake, Texas. So we did know that already. It's in about 987 right now. And yeah, we'll go ahead and take this time to go and search for some Wall Street Bet stuff. As a matter of fact, we did say that we were going to wait about an hour before we checked Fintel again. So let me pull up the Fintel info really quickly. See if anything has changed. And what do you know? The only thing that has changed is the short bar fee rate went down from 14.40 to 13.25. Short shares available are still 1.5 milli. So whatever. I don't really care. So you gotta be careful. There's multiple pages for these Reddit pages here. Like Wall Street Bets has a few different ones. AMC Stock has a few different ones. There's one that's AMC Stocks, capital and plural, and then the one I use is AMC Stock, all lowercase, one word, singular. Wall Street Bets analyzes some charts. Knock has potential to reach $10. Got your DD Viacom. Is this Viacom? We actually did some TA on Viacom not too long ago. Everybody's talking about Nokia. Let's go see what Nokia's got going on over here. Hit a high of $4.90 this morning. Look like it's just now kind of barcoding. We talked about barcoding earlier. Sell wall's up. Yeah, massive sell wall here, massive sell wall there. A lot of buyers stepping in though. A lot of buyers at 487 there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, potential to double your money here if you think you can get back up there to this $9 range for the squeeze here. Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the streams. Moritz, welcome back. Hold together, strong in Germany. Greetings, yeah, man, or woman, or sorry, the name seems masculine to me, but it's hard to tell. Just gonna call you an 8, but I always say man, whatever. It's like just a thing we say down here. Even if it's to a woman or anybody else, we just say yeah, man. More like a 70s kind of stoner saying, I guess, if you are familiar with the Dazed and Confused movie. So not too much going on here in the world of AMC in the US. I don't know how it is in Germany. Looked like it was doing okay, but you know, really we're just kind of holding out for the remaining of this week to see what's going to happen next week. I think next week potentially, or say next week, at the end of this week, we'll see what earnings does. I have a feeling that Adam Aaron and, you know, AMC have something up their sleeve. They've got a trick. There is a reason why they moved up their earnings to the 6th of May when it was originally scheduled for like June. I feel like they just had an earnings call like 2 months ago. It was not that long ago. I think it was back in February, so it was a few months ago. But they really pushed this this earnings call up, and I don't know if that's if they know it's going to help drive the price up, and they want to go ahead and start kind of dumping off some of those 43 million shares that they got. I don't know. Have no idea. Yeah, we've got a range. Let's take a look here. I mean, we're sitting okay according to the 184 hour. You know, we're still kind of trending downward. We still have a little bit farther down to go, I think, before we kind of get that bounce that we want. We're potentially very, very close to having a bounce like the one we saw here. However, when you're coming off of something like this that's been massively oversold or overbought, you're going to pull back a little bit. I'm just kind of going back through and seeing. I mean, it could potentially be something like this, although this wasn't. It was pretty decent. This is actually not a bad scenario here. This thing rose up to almost a $12, $11.80. Right, and it's kind of we talk about like this being a range here of this $12 or so, that level of resistance here, but got up to about 1180 and then pulled back down, yeah, quite a bit. Not where we actually, it's not a good scenario, to about 737 right here, and then just kind of traded flat for a while. Never did reach oversold actually. Just kind of traded flat and then started trending back upwards, and then that's when it hit that $14 range. So I mean, ideally, we want to get back up to that $14 range really soon. Once we get past $12 and once we close above 12 and we hold there for at least a 4-hour time period, potentially a day, I think we're gone. We're shooting back up to that 14 very, very quickly. We'll gap up from 12 to 14 very, very quickly, but we have to break over 12 and stay over 12 for an extended period of time. And I'd like to see us close over a 4-hour time frame above $12 to show that we can sustain that and then start making that run up. But when we start running after 12, we're going to gap up very, very quickly. The money is going to drive into this thing very, very fast. I'll take a look back here. It may not be relevant anymore. We'll see after the first 4 hours of the day go. We're actually trading below our trend line that we had set, but potentially what we looked at was just based on the TA here. When you look at the convergence here of our trend lines, this is May 7th here. So here's earnings call after hours of May 6th. May 7th, you're in this range looking for the breakout, right? So that would piece very, very well with the earnings call that once earnings happens, boom, there you go. We've got shareholders meeting here, so that could potentially be a catalyst to help drive us back. Potentially we are trading a little bit lower than our trend line. So it is what it is. Maybe we can get back up. We need to see us above like 1010 for us to get there. And we're not very far off. So if we close above 1010, at about noon after the first 4 hours of the day, we can potentially stay on that trend line. But we've held to that trend line fairly good. You can see here, even though we bounced below, we kind of came back above it here. We bounced on it a couple times here and again here. So we've held some support on this trend line. We've respected the trend line pretty damn good so far, so it'd be kind of a shame for us not to respect it and continue this trend upwards and then have that breakout up here, either after the earnings call or potentially after the meeting tomorrow or potentially after the earnings call. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are potentially going to be very big days here. I think I don't know, today, tomorrow probably pretty slow, and we'll see how after hours does, if it sells back off, because it's a terrible annual shareholders meeting call or what. So going over the rest of our positions, down 50 cents in AMTX, down 14 cents in Fubo, 17 in Rocket, down 7 in Sens, up 19 in AT&T, and down 13 in UPC, 15 currently down in cents down in AMC. So portfolio is red again today, but we don't care. We're not worried about it. We actually have an ex-dividend date coming up for AT&T. I don't think it's going to show me here. Matter of fact, I know that it doesn't show me. I'm going to look for it anyway. Dividend per share, blah, blah, blah. There's no ex-dividend date here. Is there? No, there sure is. I don't know why there's not. Last earnings update. Just going to keep scrolling down here, see if potentially there's anything in here. Yeah, not really. The value is company in the okay, so unfortunately I don't see anything that has the ex-dividend date. I'm sorry, the ex-dividend date has already happened long ago. However, the actual payout, I think it's like May the 8th. What is? Let me check real quick for anybody who's holding AT&T on the side here. Yep, so the dividend payout's actually today. And did I get that already? You know what? Yeah. All right. So hell, if you guys are holding AT&T, ticker symbol T, and you've been holding it since like March 8th or March 6th, something like that, you got your qualified dividend payment today of 52 cents per share. So it's pretty damn decent. For us, it's about a 7.23% yield, and it's not a lot, but it's about $56. So hey, it's $50, for whatever. So actually, not too bad. So That's the reason AT&T is the rock in our portfolio. I want to give a shout out to the God Pill. Looks like he shared my stream. Appreciate it, brother. That's pretty awesome. Somebody in that position to get out the stream, guys. If you haven't checked out his options video from yesterday, a lot of good information in there. Glad to see that he is producing that kind of there's nobody else that I've seen producing that kind of information when it comes to options trading. I only have the one options call right now. The last two calls, I didn't heed his information, didn't really know what I was doing, and kind of lost on both of them. Nothing to do with him whatsoever. I didn't watch any of his content regarding option calls when I picked up those two contracts, or else I probably would have known they were just some piss poor contracts that I thought were going to pay out. I thought we were already in the squeeze back when we were at $14, so I had one at 14, and we did pretty good on that one. But when you are that close to expiration, the theta has it was like that week. It was a closing that week, right? So you got an options contract. It's closing that Friday. The theta is going to kick in hard and fast with each day that goes by. And if you're in the green at some point, unless you have a strong conviction that the stock price is going to really jump up, if you're positive, you need to take that money. That's my opinion on it. For that position, and we didn't do that, so we were actually up like $50 or something. I was thinking it was gonna be a lot more, so I held out, and that was on Wednesday. I held out till Friday and ended up selling for like $1, so I lost out on that one. The next week, I raised my sights even more. Thought, oh, it's just a pullback. Set the call price, the strike price, for about $2 higher, and we end up. That was the start of our downward trend from 14. So you guys know how that played out. We pretty much have just fallen from 14 and haven't really got back to that point yet. So the $40 options call that I still currently have is something I did learn about from his channel, and so far it's it's not doing so great. But if this thing has a turnaround between now and June, and we get that squeeze, it could be worth a lot more than what I paid for it. So we've just been averaging the price down. She was at 27. It looked like now it's back up to 29. This thing goes down to 25. I'll double down on it and potentially buy another 5 more contracts here. And we'll see what happens, because if we do have that squeeze before that expiration date of June 18th, that is going to be a very, very profitable options contract to own. So, but he has some really good information that he put out yesterday, and he goes over what potentially his plays would be for the week and for the up and coming weeks, and how he would kind of mess around with things. And his mind works in a mysterious way when it comes to options contracts. And definitely, if you guys are interested in options trading, go check out the God Pill. I'll probably put a link to his channel down in the description here very soon, if I can pull it up. I also have a few other links in my description if you guys want to check them out that I highly recommend. One of them being Houston Wade's. Oh shit, what the fuck did I just do? Just hit too many buttons there. One of those being Houston Wade's video that I also highly recommend. You guys check that out. There we go. All right, so link to God Pill's channel is in the description, along with one of Houston Wade's videos. I highly recommend that you check both those channels out. God Pill for some options trading, and the video he put out yesterday, Sunday, May the 2nd, is an awesome video to go check out. It's a live stream video. Houston Wade, just a amazing 20 to 25 minute long podcast style video on kind of how we got here in regards to naked shorting and synthetic shares and what's going on in the market. So check that out. I think I also have a link to the AMC 8K filing, so you can check the financial report or the financial earnings that they projected. Again, I don't know when they made those projections for Q1, excuse me, which will be announced on May 6th this week. So as you guys are listening into the earnings report when they come out, imagine when they come out, you can see, you can read along with it, and just kind of check. I kind of want to just, I'll do this on May 7th, which is Friday. What we'll do is we'll take the earnings report. I may even live stream later that night once it comes out in the after hours, and we'll just kind of compare what they projected and see if I can figure out if that projection was from potentially Q4 of last year, or if that was a projection they made like in the middle of Q1, or if that was a very, very accurate projection of where their earnings would be. The earnings I'm talking about are what they reported on their 8K filing. So that link is in the description, along with Houston Wade and Godpill channel, along with the institutional ownership, if you guys wanted to check that out as well, to just see who's buying in, how much they're buying in, and when they're buying in. So here's the institutional ownership that we like to pull up, and it's just to kind of confirm that big people are buying in here. This is actually old, needs to update. There it goes. I don't know why. If you guys look at it and it doesn't look right to you, give it like a couple seconds, it'll update. So the new one for today is Hussman Strategies Advisors. Look like they purchased. Green rows indicate new positions, and red rows indicate closed positions again. So we just kind of indicate that here. When you see the green, that's a new open position here of 51,000 shares. And when you click on that little pop-out box there to its right, you'll get this the information here. They filed a 13F disclosing 51,500 shares of AMC as of March 31st, 2021. They previously, on November 2nd, 2020, disclosed 0 shares. So this is a new position for them within the first quarter that they opened. Now, from my understanding, they have 40 hedge funds or mutual funds or whoever these funds are. They have these institutions have 40 days or 45. I think it's 40. They have 40 days to disclose the trades that they make within their fund, right? So we don't know when. This wasn't saying that on this day they bought these shares. This is just showing that within that first quarter, they purchased 51,500 shares, and at the close, that's what they still currently had. So at the end of the quarter, who knows? The first day of the second quarter, they could have sold every one of those shares, and they could be out, but we won't know that again until like another, till the end of the quarter, and, we'll see. So something along those lines. I could be off on a couple of days here and there, so forgive me if I am off in the least bit. So we like to just look at this just to see who's in here, and this is just kind of ease your mind seeing some of the Vanguard and BlackRock and Charles Schwab investing large amounts of money, 175,000 shares here from NISA Investment Group here, or Investment Advisors, to just see 500,000. This is 500,000 shares right here. We don't know what this was here, if they added to the position or if they changed. Let's see, Fidelity Extended, so this is FMAX, Fidelity Extended Market Index Fund, has reported disclosing 500 million shares. I don't look at the value because that's usually not right. As of February 28, 2021, they previously filed 245,000 shares. So this is they doubled down their position here. That was from January. So from January to February, they doubled down 100. They increased by 109.7%. So very, very nice here that, that's 500,000 shares there from FS Max. So this is just good information to kind of keep your eyes or your heart at mind, or whatever, your mind at mind, mind at bay, whatever your analogy is going to be. To just kind of show you that there are a lot of financial institutions that are investing in AMC. And if it's such a bad buy, like everyone says it is, why the hell would they be investing into 500,000 shares? Or 250,000 shares here from Creative Planning, all, from in the last quarter, most of these. So just some good information for you guys to look at, to see. Anyhow, kind of holding strong here at about $9.83 on old AMC. Just kind of consolidating sideways, not doing a damn thing this morning. But it's not quite the big sell-off that we thought it was going to be. So it is what it is. The rest of our portfolio is a little bit in the red today, and we haven't done this in a while, so we may go ahead and do a stock scan today And let's see, let this thing load up just a little bit and make sure all of our parameters are still where we like them to be. I don't know why it's taking a while to pull up here. I'm going to go ahead and just run the scan, see if it actually runs. And the parameters we set here for the stock scan are from $5 to $50, 300,000 to 200 million in volume, and then a price change or percentage change of 0 to 1,000%. And top of the charts that we have right here is the highest percentage, right? So I like to keep that percentage increase because I don't really care too much about the dollar increase. I like percentages. So looking here at 79 or 80% is RHE, Regional Health Property. So let's go here and take a look at RHE. See why the hell RHE is running up 80% from $4.86 up to $15. God damn. All right, that's a pretty good run up here. So what I would assume is that it's potentially earnings. Regional Health Property shares resumed trade up 60%. So it looks like they were on hold here, that they got halted, and they did get halted. Let's see, higher, this got halted again. 8K show company confirms it's not aware of any undisclosed material change in the business, operations, or affairs in the companies that would account for the recent increase in the share price and the trading volume of the company. So, this is kind of sum right here, not seeing any company-specific news to justify the price action. So kind of odd, usually when you see something like this, when you see this many people jump into something like this, looking at the volume here, pretty damn decent volume there, 791,000. This high candle here on the sell was 995,000. Currently, last minute about 98,000. So starting to kind of simmer down just a little bit here. Looks like they're getting a bounce off the VWAP or trade below the VWAP. We'll see they got a bounce earlier. This is the middle VWAP, the purple one here. We got the EMA is the green, and our gold is our bottom VWAP. So potentially look for another bounce off the middle VWAP here, and if they break below, chances are they're going to start falling back down. Them being up as much as they're up, like 80% from close of yesterday, with no news to justify that, it's more than likely, I hate to say pump and dump, but I like to say that word a lot. So it's a pump and dump in my opinion. I don't really know what the hell's going on here. Why all of a sudden, this much volume pumping into the stock for absolutely no reason? Who knows? So we're going to go back to the scan tool here. And if you're running the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, the very top here is your scan tool. Again, the parameters we like to set are $5 to $50. That's just kind of the price range. If we're going to do a day trade, we like to trade within that range. It's good for our budget. Volume, we like to see between 300,000 and 200 million in volume, and a percentage change of 0 to 1,000% increase. Hit the little scan button there. It'll pop up, and then you can sort it by whatever you like, but I like to have the percentage up. So we already looked at RHE. Grayscale Ethereum Classic TR up 30%. Another Grayscale Ethereum here. What is that? Ocugen Incorporated, they're up about 16%. Reconnaissance Energy, Starbulk Carriers. Just looking to see if anything really pops out to me. Endeavor. All right, so that's like that's I don't think this is the same one. This is Endeavor Silver Core, EXK. What we're gonna do is go to analyze here, as I was EXK, because I don't think that this is the same Endeavor company that I'm thinking it is. I don't know. There is no information on here, and it could be because I'm having some difficulties there. The best way to tell is to look at the 10-day here. I don't know. Is this the same Endeavor I'm thinking of that just created an IPO? Endeavor Silver Core, a mid-tier precious metals mining company, engages in the acquisition, exploration, development, extraction, processing, refining, and reclamation of mining property. So definitely not the Endeavor that we're thinking of. Matter of fact, I do want to kind of look up that Endeavor. Or Endeavor. Jesus Christ, that's in Devour. Man, I'm a freaking idiot. So Devour just put out the IPO the other day. investors devour on Steam, devour your fee. Okay, where the fuck is devour? Oh, I guess it was Endeavor. Wait, what? Endeavor forced to withdraw IPO, leaving UFC owners with. What is this? All right, this is an article from like long ago. I'm gonna get it back to AMC so we're not watching that. So maybe that's why I'm thinking Endeavor and Devour. I'm getting them kind of mixed up because Endeavor Group Holdings, parent company of UFC, was hoping to raise over 600 million during its initial IPO. So maybe that's where I'm seeing something. Maybe that's why I'm getting them kind of mixed up here. Fucking hate these articles. They put it out there like they want you to see the article and then they want you to pay for it. Matter of fact, let's take a look at this. So Endeavor is looking for a valuation of $10 billion when it makes its Wall Street's debut. EDR. So we're going to take a look at EDR. No. Endeavor said it will trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the EDR ticker symbol. Here is EDR, and this is Education Realty Trust. So, or Endeavor Group Holdings. I don't know why the symbol there's fucked up. I guess I'm on a 10 day. Yeah, so all right, so this is the one I was looking at here. And man, I'm all kind of screwed up in the head here, getting Devour and Endeavor mixed up because of their link to the UFC. For some reason, I kind of skimmed over everything when I saw Devour and thought, or Endeavor and thought Devour. See how I get confused for whatever reason with this. And I saw the IPO and I saw Dana White being a part. I'm like, oh, it's Devour, that, you know, the frozen pizza company. And a buddy of mine actually posted some stuff on Facebook the other day asking about the you know, the position here, and in my head I'm thinking fucking Devour, that frozen food, because I actually tried their pizza once after Dana White pushed it so hard in one of his looking for a fight videos, and it wasn't that great, but anyhow, so we're gonna add this to the watch list here. You know, typically the sentiment is to kind of stay away from things upon IPO or to wait till they pull back a little bit. And it looks like it would have been a pretty decent time if you would have got it at the low there at 23, because it's up a little bit now. So we're just going to go over here, click in this little box on the right, the blue one, and then add to the watch list for 2021. Going to go back here to AMC, see where we're kind of currently sitting at. Not really doing too damn much right now. Just had to, I get kind of sidetracked, and that helps make the stream go by a little bit quicker when we're looking for Endeavor and Devour and all that BS. So I'm going to leave you guys on the charts for just a moment, and I'll be right back. Sorry for the quick absence there. Just had to take a quick break. So yeah, still not doing much of fucking anything here. We're gonna go back to the stock scan, see what's moving, what's gapping up on the day here. See if there's any potential for a day trade for us. I don't think that there is today. We're kind of just hanging on to about $1,000 in dry powder here from our Harley Davidson trade, which brings me up. And I hate doing this, but I want to look here. Yeah, not doing too bad. $48 range. I think they got up. What did they get up to? On the 5 day to $50, right? So we sold about $44.50, held from $40.85. So we made a nice little 8.98% profit here on Harley Davidson, and we collected dividends for the last like 2.5 years. But we finally got out of position, dumped about half of our money back into to AMC, and we're just gonna keep scanning for some more stocks. See if there's anything popping up here that might look good. Endeavor's up 2.25 right now. SunCoke Energy up about 8%. $2.25, so 8% on Endeavor. So hopefully my buddy got into that. Smith & Wesson up 5.3. So SWBI. I actually want to check that out. SWBI here. And looking pretty damn good on Smith & Wesson here, up about 8% themselves. See if there's any news related to Smith & Wesson. Supreme Court, this is from April 26. Supreme Court agrees to take up a major gun rights case in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, or the NRA versus Cortlet. The justices will consider to extend to which the Second Amendment protects the right to carry guns outside the home for self-defense. Tweet. Kramer, okay, don't care about Kramer. So, kind of odd. This is from April the 12th. Shares of firearm companies are trading higher after Minnesota declared a state of emergency and announced a curfew in the city amid unrest. Ruger & Co. falls alongside peers. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I am kind of curious to see how they've done over the last year. I would imagine, let's take a look at the 180. Nah, 180 is not going to go back far enough for us, is it? Yeah, it will. All right, so I'm actually just curious to see. That's looks like December there. This is January in here. So after Biden was inaugurated, this is, what is this? Where's the 21st at? Is the 21st a date? This is January here. So right before he was inaugurated, or is it the 15th is inauguration? So right before he was inaugurated, the price actually started to go up, which is kind of what we anticipated. You see back in the summertime too. So just pulling up Smith & Wesson, just interested in it right now. It is moving up here. Where is it at? SWBI. It is up 5.13% on the day here. So, or from close of Friday. Curaleaf, okay, up 6.74. All right, so this one may be a good one, guys. Curl F. Let's take a look over there at Curl F. Now this one may be something we might be interested in taking a position in here. So, and I'll pull up the website for them. Let me close the door really quickly. All right, so Curaleaf is a Canadian cannabis company. I've got the, let's say Google, but this is through Yahoo right now, pulled up here. And as you can see, where I live in Pensacola, Florida, although I am Texas' very own, once you're from Texas, you're always Texas. Their headquarters in Wakefield, Massachusetts, was actually a very large, Massachusetts is a recreational marijuana state. So I know, well, I'm not going to give too much away on the internet here, but it's very, very close to where I will be working at starting this weekend. I travel out on Saturday, so guys, the live streams will probably kind of get changed up quite a bit starting next week, and I'll start making videos instead of live streams. Maybe I'll live stream something in the nighttime, but the daily live stream, live market price action will be cut to a close for the next 2.5 months, or at least the next 2 months, while I am working out in the field at my my next golf tournament. So we're just gonna go to their webpage here for Curaleaf. Yes, I'm 21 years or older, and it's just a cannabis company here, right? Medical marijuana, stuff of that sort. But we do have one here in Pensacola, so we have them here in Florida. They will be popping up, so it is notable. This is one of those companies. If you guys are interested and you think that the future for medical marijuana will be, a very profitable future, and you don't know which company to invest in. I know we looked at Aurora Growth companies, or cannabis growth companies, whatever it was, Aurora. I looked at quite a few over the years. We'll just take a look at my my old watch list from 2017, and some of these I still have in here. Is AbbVie? I don't remember if AbbVie is. There's Pfizer. I had a few. A lot of them are now gone. They've kind of came and went, and I've taken a few off of them here. ACBFF, I think, is one. CGC is the cannabis growth. ACBF, I think that's Aurora. Whatever, there's just quite a few that are there. But going back to Curaleaf here, currently sitting at $15.06 with a high of $19.89, and this is potentially one of those plays that could be very good for the future here. Looking like they're doing all right on the day. Don't know if there's any news. Barron's Picks, branded adult use store opens in Maine. First Curaleaf branded adult use store opens in Maine. So based out of Massachusetts, it's a Canadian company. Based out of Massachusetts, that's kind of odd to me. First adult use store opens in Maine. We do have stores here in Pensacola, Florida, or a store. I would imagine there's more. So the fact that their reach is this wide, this could be a company that we should look for potential in the future here. I'm going to go ahead and add them to the 2021 watch list. Looking at the 80, I mean, not too bad if you got in at 5. I mean, you're doing pretty good. Tripled your money at this point. So it looked like Endeavor was doing pretty good here. It's gonna be tough to see. I always think, like, well, how can UFC outdo themselves? And guys, did anybody watch the UFC Fight Night on Saturday? God damn, what a good fight. I can't even pronounce the guy from, was it the Czech Republic, his name. But Dominic Reyes, I really like Dominic Reyes going back from when he fought John Jones, kind of when I was first introduced to him. And, he's had a couple of tough fights now since the John Jones loss, and then the loss there to Jan Blachowicz. For two title losses in a row, or title fight losses in a row, and then now, that basically Dana White came out and said that the winner of Dominic Reyes and the other guy that he fought on Saturday would get be in line for a title shot. And man, he put up a hell of a fight. And if you guys remember that fight he had against Jan Blachowicz, he got his nose, like, it was on the side of his face. He got fucked up. And but he has heart, man. Guy's got a lot of heart. Good fighter. And dude, he was taking some shots and he was dissing some shots, but that guy just kept coming and coming and coming, and finally took him out with a spinning back elbow. Amazing finish to the fight. Like, I feel bad for Dominique. He showed a lot of grit and a lot of heart. But, man, that other guy is someone to be reckoned with. He's going to be a contender for sure. So, light heavyweight division getting very, very strong now in the UFC. Even with the loss of John Jones moving up to heavyweight, that light heavyweight division is looking promising. So, I think we've got Israel Adesanya. He's going to be fighting very soon. So I look for that. I usually order every single pay-per-view from UFC. The last pay-per-view that I did not order was the Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou fight. Unfortunately, for Stipe, he lost that to a pretty he got knocked out. But the card just seemed underwhelming to me. Like, I look at the card as a whole. I don't just look at the main event and say, I'm going to order it for the main event only. I kind of look at every fight on the card and kind of just see what I think. I mean, if I'm gonna spend $70 on a pay-per-view, I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth. And that was probably the last fight, or the first fight in probably a year. Let's say pay-per-view. First pay-per-view in a year that I did not purchase was the Francis Ngannou Stipe Miocic 2 fight. So I just, sorry Stipe, sorry Francis, but you didn't get my money this time. Just the card just seemed underwhelming to me. But this last pay-per-view was pretty damn good, with Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. And I mean, fuck man, you had 3 title fights in one night. How could you not order that pay-per-view? And all 3 of them ended in finishes. So, 2 of them in knockouts and one, TKO. I think Valentina Shevchenko TKO Jessica Andrade. So good fights there. Anyways, that's just a little bit of nonsense talk about Endeavor and UFC. And we're just kind of skating around AMC here. So finally dropping below. Here's that big sell-off that we were hearing was going to happen on AMC. Currently sitting at about $9.66 and moving downward. Currently we are in oversold territory here. So again, nothing new to us. We think that potentially this thing could drop all the way down to 9 and not bat an eye. But as this starts to drop, I'm going to keep my eyes on the AMC short interest data according to Fintel. And I thought it would drop by 500,000. However, it only dropped by 400,000. So did drop a bit. They still got ammunition to keep shorting this thing down right now. And what they're probably doing is the people who are borrowing these shares to short are potentially just waiting for good times when they see the volume low, and then they short it, which is why I don't understand why they wouldn't short it like at lunchtime when the volume typically goes really low. But you can see this all pretty much short here. Sell walls there and moving. So got some buyers that stepped in, but don't be surprised to see this thing drop all the way down to 9. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. I actually put out a tweet last night. I'll pull up the Twitter really quick. I can't remember what I said. It was like super late, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I just want to put it out there because I didn't make a video over the weekend. Where are my tweets? Here we go. So this is my Twitter account here. It's the real _real_TVO. We are potentially still in a downward trend. Expect a negative price movement early in the week. We are still trading in a channel from 880 to 1190. No FUD, just TA, have faith, and hold a strong 8 fam. So I kind of called it really late last night. I saw the news articles talking about there was a big sell-off. I don't believe any of that shit. I just kind of looked at the TA again yesterday. I was going over some stuff with my girlfriend, kind of showing her how to use Thinkorswim. And we were kind of looking at the 180-day 4-hour time frame, and I kind of noticed like the channel that we're kind of sitting in, and potentially that we were going to be dropping back down, and how we were doing according to the RSI. So we'll pull up the RSI really quickly. It's kind of what I look at here. So now you can see we're closer to that bounce down here. Have yet to reach oversold right now, according to the RSI on the 184 hour. So we're getting very, very close, and potentially we'll see oversold for the rest of the day today at some point. Maybe we get in there and stay down there. So we have the channel. Here it is. Way down here. This is 908. It's actually probably a little bit lower, depending on where you look here. I mean, you could call it in a couple different spots here, but we'll just say even $9. I think I called 880. You can say even $9 for that bounce support level. It has been a little bit lower. Again, down here to about 850. So we all know the ranges. If you guys have been following AMC for a while, you know the support levels, you know the resistance levels, and you know that they do get pretty strong when they get down. But this thing, I mean, just look at the turn it's made right now. Pretty nasty. We'll pull up a Fibonacci retracement here. And you can see we're almost 78% down. And this is just over the last 2 weeks here. So almost back to where we started 2 weeks ago. Kind of giving back a lot of the momentum that we made last week or the week before. Shit, whenever this was. This was all the way back April 20th. So from April 20th on, that's kind of the Fibonacci I'm pulling from here is April 20th. So I don't think that we're going to see a 100% retracement, although it is very much possible. We're still trading in that a large channel here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these price levels I got here. I just got too much going on right now. There's one at, what is this, 980. One here at 949. We already know 950 is a level of support and resistance, so I'll keep this one down here. It's not exactly where I like it. It's at 908. I might keep it for now, but as you can see, when we started to sell off down here, we got down just a little bit lower, kind of close below, lower, about 890, somewhere in that range. So just understand that we are still trading within a channel, and it's a quite large channel at the moment. And until we get some good news and we start to get this bounce, I think our trend line is pretty much fucked at this point. So depending on how the rest of the day goes, this trend line will probably be getting moved down just a little bit more. So it is what it is. It's just, you know, the game of TA. You just got to keep setting trend lines, keep moving around as the the position moves. So nothing big there. Look for us to find a level of support though at around that 950 range. But again, I think this could potentially keep going back down. So we kind of sent out a tweet last night saying that look for the downward momentum to keep going. We're not quite there for the rebound just yet, and you guys can see that on the 184 hour, which we're currently looking at now. You can see we're just now hitting about that oversold section here on the RSI here. So getting ready to make it down there, and potentially we could be trading that way for a couple, for at least a day, 2 days potentially, where we could trade lower. We might get a nice little bounce back up tomorrow, and then pull back again on Wednesday until we get till after hours tomorrow afternoon. So potentially look for us to kind of trade maybe sideways a little bit tomorrow, maybe even a little bit of pullback, but I don't expect anything big for tomorrow. The only catalysts we have this week are the shareholder meeting tomorrow afternoon and the earnings call on Thursday. So those two, we're expecting something big. However, the pessimist in me would say look at the 8K filings, which we have linked in the description, and check out their financials. That's what they projected for this last quarter, for Q1. And if you go with that, the numbers still don't look good. I mean, yeah, you could say that they look better than what they did in Q4, but to me, they still don't look very good. And we've seen some DD posts being very optimistic, and I think that they're reading the filing probably wrong. We're going to pull it up really quickly just for you guys that are new, guys and girls that are new here and want to see what I'm talking about. So here's the 8K. Again, it's linked down below or in the description, wherever that's at. And you can read pretty much here. This is probably one of the most important sections here, is just this earnings section here from this 8K. And you can kind of read it in here. There's one thing that kind of sticks out to me that it doesn't make much sense here. Excuse me. Where is it at? I know it's on here somewhere. I already read it once this morning. Shit, where the hell did it go? Is it farther down? I'm not going to read the entire paper here, of course, but there's something very interesting in here that I don't see. I don't see where it's at. Expect next loss. Oh, it's right here. All right, so this second bullet point here, underneath the financial results. Company expects a net loss for 3 months ended March 31st, 2021 to be between $572.2 million and $567.2 million compared to, and then this is what's confusing to me right here. It says $2,176.3 million. So to me, that I don't understand this. Maybe somebody in the comments can kind of help me out here and tell me why I'm not understanding that. If it's that to me would say $2 billion. or it would just be 2.1 million. So, which is what I'm kind of thinking, but I don't quite understand. Is that a thing? A 2,176.3 million? That doesn't quite make much sense to me. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I can't read numbers. In that case, I don't know. I'm just probably turn off the stream now. But how can something be 2,176.3 million? I don't know. Man, I might have to get another cup of coffee here. So just look that these numbers are still not very good. Somebody was reading this as though it was 2.1 million earlier, or this 2,176. I don't understand this number, but they're basically saying that this number is greater than this number. But if you just go back down here and kind of look at the numbers, you're going to see that they're still very, very much in debt. So anyhow, that's why I'm saying I'm being pessimistic and thinking that potentially the earnings call may not be as good as what we think it is. But there's got to be a reason why Adam Aaron and CEO decided to announce earnings and move the earnings date up to May the 6th from what it previous was, which I think was like a June 18th or something. So either he just wants to get it over with, or he knows something that we don't, or they need to release that information ahead of time so that they can do something big within the company, and maybe that's what they're going to announce tomorrow. Only time will tell. So we are going to see what is going to happen. Rest of the portfolio not looking too great today. AT&T still looking pretty good, up about a quarter. So again, AT&T doesn't really move very much. When it does move, it's either negative or positive. At most 1%. It's only up about 0.81% from close on Friday. So it's up, but it never really moves that much. That's why it's a foundation. So it's good to diversify, at least in my opinion. I like to keep a diversified portfolio, even though we've got a lot, probably 55-60% of our portfolio at this point now is all AMC. We've got a couple other small positions. They don't worry about them. They ain't really shit, like a couple positions here or there. But AMC and AT&T are the two, and AT&T is the rock. So AMC is the gamble, right? But if you follow the numbers, it still looks pretty good. Unless you're going off of just strictly TA, and if you're looking at TA, you can make a pretty bearish case for AMC to not go up. But if you're looking at the squeeze, which is very, very likely with all the numbers surrounding it, and that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for a squeeze. It's looking very good. Now, if you just look at TA, it doesn't look that great, considering the fact that if you look at a 3-year, it was already on a downward trend before it ever got to the year 2020. So potentially we're already in that range of where it should be trading at, which is that $9 to $12 here. So that's that channel we're trading at right now, which if you were looking at a TA solely standpoint, solely TA, this is potentially that range you would say that we probably should be trading in on a good good quarter. But that's just like the pessimist in me. We're trading this for a squeeze here. We got another thing we haven't really talked about yet is FTDs, and something about, there was some DD that came out on Reddit a while back saying that they had 3 days to cover shorts, and then from there they have 21 days if they don't cover on that day. And so what I did was I marked off 21 days and 21 trading days from that day of, I think it was April 28th or something. And these are the dates that we get, May 19th and May 27th. So these days we're keeping our eyes on to see what happens on either one of these days. If we start seeing that squeeze pop up, then we'll know that DD was truthful. I don't even know where the DD is at. I don't even have a link to it. It was on some Reddit page about some guy saying something with some rulings that on April 28th they had to cover their short positions, and they had if they didn't do so, they had 21 days to cover basically, and these are the 21 days. So both 21 trading days and 21 actual days here May 19th and May 27th, respectively. So we're keeping our eye on those two dates. We set, some timelines here. We're going to see if something pans out on either one of those days. And we'll just kind of see what happens. Those may be the next dates. If nothing happens this week, if we have a bad week and earnings is shit, and if shareholders meeting is shit and nothing really happens this week, then potentially the next target date for us to look forward to are these 2 days to see if something happens between there. But we're just riding this thing out. It is what it is, just a ride. So we've been live streaming for about 2 hours and 36 minutes now, and I think we're gonna call it a day here. Not too much is going on. Get you guys back to the screen here. I want to take the time out to appreciate anybody who's stopped by the stream, anybody who's commented. Appreciate it, Jeffrey Canella. Appreciate it, Moritz Vom. And I want to give another shout out to God Pill. Thank you for sending me a shout out. Appreciate you posting the link to my channel. And thanks for that options video you made last night. Guys, if you haven't checked out the God Pills channel, go check them out. Link is in the description, along with Houston Wade's video, which is a very good one. I highly recommend. And then some other information you guys are interested in. So thank you to everyone who's commented and stopped by the stream here. I think for the rest of the day, we're potentially just going to keep kind of, either trading down or trading sideways here. Remember, we potentially can go down to about a little less than $9 here before we really find another level of support. We have a couple of supports here, but in the big scheme of the channel that we're looking at here, some are just underneath that $9 range. Potentially, if they're going to keep shorting this thing out of the sky, that's where it could fall down to. So we're not worried about it. We're going to let it do its thing. And if it gets down below 9, we have some capital to invest and average down a little bit more. So currently sitting about 8.97. If we get below that, definitely buying up shares to average down a little bit more. So if you guys are interested in buying more shares, just keep watching the price over today and tomorrow, and see what happens between today and tomorrow. Scale in, and just think that this thing could potentially keep going lower, and be careful of the FUD you see out there on the Reddit pages and the internet. So appreciate everybody again. We're going to call it. If something happens crazy this afternoon, I'll see you guys this afternoon, but more than likely it's going to be pretty dead. So thank you guys again. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace out.
Mic off.